Well, welcome everybody to Shitty Cowboys. What in tarnation is Shitty Cowboys? We're an actual play Dungeons & Dragons bi-weekly Twitch stream and podcast set in the West Hollow setting. That's right, it's Dungeons and Dragons and Cowboys. What else more could you ask for? Follow Sean Marston and Jambalaya Pendergrass as they travel across West Hollow and get into some cowboy trouble. Find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/OneShotOnslaught every other Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every other Wednesday wherever you get your podcast. Now go on, get to subscribing.
Welcome to Direcast, the receipts in the bag. Here at Direcast, our group of 6 pigeons with opinions play different RPGs, bringing you a new game and system every few weeks. This week, we're wrapping up our game of Feathers with an emotional climax. My name's Luki, and the question this week is, what's the weirdest place you've ever stayed in? And mine is this youth hostel in the Midlands that is an Elizabethan manor house that they've just converted into a youth hostel. It's really cool. We have to go there sometime. It's so cool. I'll find the name at some point.
When we do an on-location shoot at some point, that's where we shall go.
Because podcasts have to be filmed on location, you know.
Hello, my name is Matt. And yeah, it's like the one that springs to mind for funniest place I've stayed is I once stayed in. There's this thing called champing. I don't know if anyone's aware of it.
Yep, church camping.
Camping in old churches. Yeah, it's very. We went to this little, like I think it was from the 1810s little church over in the middle of like Oxfordshire, middle of nowhere. All we did was sit in this church for about 3 days, did nothing but like have a couple of beers and play role-playing games and play the organ. It was great.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
So nice.
Cool. I'm Jacob, and I think the strangest place that I've ever stayed, it was a fancy house of some kind that I stayed in for my Year 6 residential trip. I legitimately don't know what the history of that place was. I would not be surprised if it had been an asylum at some stage. It was just all kinds of weird and out of place and liminal. And as an 11-year-old, I did not have the conceptual vocabulary to deal with it, so I just wandered around going, this is strange.
Hi, I'm Helen, and the weirdest place I've ever stayed would probably be in a manga cafe in Tokyo. We missed our bus and we needed somewhere to stay overnight, so we went to a manga cafe, and the way these work is you basically like sign in and you get given a little like pod room, which is basically like half a desk, and you end up lying down like half under the desk on like a little, it's not even a futon, like a leathery like cushion, and that was your bed, and we stayed there overnight.
Hello there, my name's Peter, and I'm going to go down the residential trip as well. The weirdest place I definitely stayed was... We were staying in the kind of outhouse that if somebody told me that it never existed and it burnt down in a fire 10 years earlier, I'd probably believe them. We got shouted out for using a fire door, which is probably fair. But there was a fire door leaving...
That's every school trip.
Yeah, leading directly out, and we were lazy Year 9s. And they were like, we've got CCTV looking at you. And it's like, well, considering I slept on a plastic bag for a week, I don't think you did. But we didn't question it at the time, so we just had to do some hoovering.
Hi, I'm H, and the weirdest place I've ever stayed is when I was quarantined for 5 days in a Chinese boarding school.
You were quarantined?
Yep.
Wait, what? Why were you quarantined?
It was swine flu era. We had our temperatures
right.
taken as we entered at the airports, and it was all very stressful. Yeah, and then we were quarantined in a boarding school for 5 days, and they had like fences up, and they were temperature checking us every time we went down to the canteen to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh my god,
Before
that
it was
sucks.
cool.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I had a
before it was
proper pandemic experience before it was cool.
So you were prepared.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, now that we know that about ourselves, let's get to it.
How long is it before Corday arrives? So I think we all get there.
Well, so I was going to have it that you guys would arrive, and then about an hour later, Corday would arrive on a motorbike. Like, she's going to do this thing about how, like, well, I got into motorcycling. What of it? Kind of thing. But because you took you stopped at the services, you took a slight detour to kind of drop Maldwin off. She's actually arrived before you guys. So when you arrive at the house, she is just leaning on the fence with she's wearing kind of her usual kind of garb. She's her hair is now a different color. It's now red. And
Nice.
she's just leaning against the fence, smoking a cigarette.
Matt, may I just say, she got back into motorcycling. She was
Yeah.
definitely into motorcycling in the 50s and the 60s.
I lost interest when McQueen died. But yeah, she's now got back, and it's also for Sizzle, the bike is a vintage bike. It's not like a Kawasaki Ninja. It's like a British Triumph or something.
Oh no,
It's like
obviously
a
it's not like a
70s
Harley
bike.
Davidson with the handle, those handlebars.
Yeah, it's like
and all this.
it's like a 70s
Yeah.
British racing bike is what
Yeah.
it is. British
Excellent.
racing green as well.
The vintage helmet and goggles, I'm sure as well.
Darling.
Can she be wearing a biker jacket from an ill-fated biker gang that she and Faye tried to start up
Yes.
in the 80s?
And only you recognise it. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's called something really stupid. It's called the Fallen Angels.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
that's-
freaking they ran into trouble with the Hell's Angels, but yeah, it's the Fallen Angels.
Yes.
It's got it's got a design of an angel kind of falling and screaming on the back. It's a surprisingly graphic design. You can tell she got into the motorcycling for the jackets, not for the motorcycling.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Faye still has hers somewhere.
yeah, and so she's she's sitting there. She's got a cigarette on the go, shades, and as you kind of pull up, she's kind of giving you the 1,000-yard stare, being like, "So you finally arrived," kind of thing.
Faye jumps out of the car and gives her a big hug.
Corday cracks a smile and returns the hug.
I feel like the fact that she's early offends Corday the permanently fashionably late Corday on an
Yeah,
existential
she's really
level.
irritated that you've deprived her the ability to be late.
But she
and
got
she
to lean
would
on a
have,
fence and smoulder though, so that is worth something.
yeah. And that you've done it perfectly, and that she would have wanted to be like, "Where the fuck were you? I've been waiting for years." But the fact that Faye ran out, she can't help but crack a smile and hug Faye. So she's like, you old bat.
And then and then Faye looks at the bike and goes, "Oh, is this Delilah? I haven't seen her in years."
It's actually not. This one's called Bruce. I tried to replicate Delilah, couldn't find it. Painted it,
She was one of a kind.
one of a kind, couldn't track it down. I tried. You wouldn't believe how hard I tried to track down Delilah.
Corday, darling, it's so nice to see you. How was your trip down?
Roxana. It was fine. It was swift, and it was peaceful.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. We had a most wonderful trip. We picked up a delightful old man.
That's adorable.
It was, yes.
We did, it was really nice. Have you eaten? I've got sandwiches. Where did they say the
no,
key was?
I'm good.
I think there's a
I brought pickled
stone
eels.
somewhere.
I'll take the eels.
Right.
Yeah, key.
Right-hand pocket,
Nothing on the website.
Oh, I think no. He, the owner texted me. I think he said it's going to be under the stone that looks like a turtle. Anyone see a stone that looks like a turtle?
Yeah,
Faye
over by
is
the
like
door.
I've got a
crouched
stone that
over,
looks like a tortoise. Don't know if that's helpful.
I've got one
He
over
might have
here
got
that
them
looks like a
mixed
toad.
Up. Okay, bring all the reptile/amphibian stones here, and check the bottom of them, I guess.
Would you say this is more of a gecko or a miniature Komodo dragon, Corday?
Possibly this one with the key under it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was going to say, someone kick it over for Christ's
Well,
sake.
that's clearly a terrapin.
Oh, good job, Bean, darling.
Listen, I was a zoologist for 3 years. I know my turtles.
zoologist or ate a lot of animals. Was this in the period where you found stuff by eating it?
While you're chatting about this, Corday's
Maybe.
going to cross over to Bean and say, just use the key, for Christ's sakes.
Look, I went with Darwin to the Galapagos Islands, and we met a lot of turtles.
You ate a lot of turtles.
Yeah,
They
Bean,
were delicious.
Bean opens the door, half looks to Roxana, grabs Corday by the wrist and goes, "Come on, let's find what the rooms are."
What the...
First dibs. And
As you're drugged in, she's like, are you 12?
Roxana
Yes!
smiles,
Faye runs past you.
smiles watching them go.
Yes. Alexis looks thrilled as well, and I think we'll probably run in after them and say,
There's
right, I'm going to try and find the biggest bed. Race you to the top.
there's some squealing and some
already there.
I think
thundering feet.
Cordy's going to do that thing where she's too cool for school at first. She's going to be like, oh, for God's sake. And then she begins to think, wait, I actually want a good room.
Yes.
And then she's gonna be like she's gonna like make a show of being like, well, you
How
idiots.
many rooms and how many beds does this place have?
So I'm
4
gonna
rooms,
say,
3 beds.
Jacob, how could that work?
do we want to do the fanfic trope? Because I was gonna say, wait, how many? There's 6 of us, right?
Sofa.
Yeah.
I'll sleep in the van.
4 bedrooms, I was serious. 3 beds, I was not.
Yeah, well, let's go with the 4 bedrooms then, and maybe there could be like a sofa bed in the living room that no one wants to use because you'll be woken up by the first person who wants a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Yep.
Well,
So-
Yeah, Cordy's immediately gonna be like, nope.
Like,
So let's say there's like 2 double beds and 2 twin rooms. So some people are going to have to share because we all love that trope.
Yeah.
So let's lean into it 50%.
If there is no single bed, then Roxana doesn't care. If there's no single
Roxana
room that's got
doesn't care,
privacy,
does
then
she?
she. Sorry, not Roxana, Corday.
You're not right.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Roxana, you do not care.
If there's like a single private room up for grabs, she wants it. If there's not, she's resigned to just taking a twin with someone.
Yeah, no, it's going to be 2 twins and 2 doubles, and maybe there's like a cot in one of the doubles type thing, like a tiny kid's bed that a shortest angel could fit on.
Bean, get in it.
Aw, tiny little cherub.
Actually, Bean.
Imagine Bean is really long, actually.
Bean is long.
Can Bean fit in it? That should have been question
Yeah,
one.
you would know.
I think Bean attempts to fit in the cot, but it's exactly short enough that they lie on it and their feet are seated perfectly on the floor.
What is the overall theme of this home? Because you know it's going to have a weird theme.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
I was going to say too many clocks. Just endless clocks.
Too many Marilyn Monroe clocks.
There we
I
go.
like Marilyn Monroe. I think
I
it's
quite-
more
yeah.
unusual. Yeah.
All student housing nowadays, for some reason, has pictures of Marilyn Monroe on the walls, and it's slightly creepy.
Literally, Cordy's going to look at one and just be like, ugh, and just turn it around.
The Exeter Catholic Chaplaincy had a bunch of pictures of Audrey Hepburn. I forgot her name for a second there.
Oh,
Audrey
that's the other one.
Hepburn.
Her and
Yeah.
Audrey Hepburn have really taken up the wall hanging business.
I literally have an Audrey Hepburn poster. I'm the worst kind of
Aw.
hipster. Like, maybe that makes me better than Corday.
You're a
well,
hipster. So Corday sees a Marilyn Monroe poster. Yeah, thank you, Peter.
Pain.
Sees a Marilyn Monroe poster and turns it around.
Yeah, she's gonna just say she's gonna just hiss at it. Doris Day's better.
I feel like Faye and Corday are probably sharing a room.
I'm fine with that.
And Faye just looks at her and goes, "You know, she was a very nice woman. There's no reason to be rude to her.
She was fine. She couldn't act though.
She didn't need to. She was lovely."
Some people have it so
At
easy.
which point, Wirrels will come in. Wirrels will come in and said, and she stood on the side, of the street, reciting poetry, whilst the crowds before her bayed for her skirts. That was her husband, I do believe. Very, very. Although I have most definitely misquoted it.
I'm just gonna go out and assume that Wirrell's quoted it correctly, and then Corday's gonna raise an eyebrow, and it's just be like, "Wow, when did you get so dense?"
From your opinion, I've always
And
been
lost
dense.
interest. Right, let's move.
Don't worry, I brought some of my own homemade rum.
Excellent, Faye.
You win some, you lose some. Bean, I have a thing for you.
Oh,
and
Bean
eyebrow
has
raising.
claimed
What's a
one of the
confession?
doubles.
Oh, okay. Bean. That's. I'm assuming he's lied on it sideways. He's at a diagonal. Yeah, I know from experience.
Yes.
He's going to walk over and he's going to give him a list, and it is a list of all the jazz artists that Mordwin named. Which he has taken down, and on one side it's in shorthand, and the other side is written really.
Thank you.
I was taking notes.
I assumed as much.
People tend to forget, and it's always good to
I've
have.
You
I'd-
can write shorthand.
Yes.
If any
I've
of us
never
can.
learned. Would you teach me?
I can. Oh, yeah, it's easy. I learned off a correspondence course, but I've got my Cliff's Notes, and I've been doing it for the past I don't know 60 years. So pretty sure I could just give it to you. I could teach you.
Oh,
It might
thank
be fun to do whilst we're up here.
Yeah, I wanted to
think
take
so.
notes, but I got too busy. I got too busy listening. So
I could see
thank
it in
you
your
for
eye.
that.
I could see it in your eyes. And I had a thing on me. Hang on, I'm just gonna and he takes off the Bluetooth headset. It's like, I don't need this, do I? Just
Oh, no, it's no Wi-Fi.
I was about to say I don't think that thing's been getting signal for at least an hour.
Oh, it's been gorgeous.
On that we
Did
can
you cut
agree.
out mid-conversation?
No, right. Gary. Gary! Gary! Gary!
Where has Peter actually gone, Jacob?
I don't know. I'm on the other end of the sodding house.
Gary!
He's back.
Gary!
While the
Oh my
great
God.
room war has been going on, Roxana has been very slowly and sedately unpacking the van.
Faye has far too many bags for like how long this trip is supposed to be.
No one is surprised.
She has brought a ukulele. She has brought her sewing kit. She has brought her baking supplies.
Don't forget sourdough starter. Can't leave him alone for a
Yeah,
week.
she's brought the sourdough starter. One of the bags is moving independently.
It's more of a sourdough intermediate by this stage.
Corday has got 2 bags.
Did you say 2 bags or tea bags?
2 bags. One of
Alexis
them
has
is
brought two
like...
bags because you can never be sure what the shop will have.
Yeah, totally.
Well,
Yeah,
exactly.
Corday, like, as you're kind of all bimbling about, she's going to come in with, like, 2 rucksacks, right? One of them is, like, presumably just full of, like, the bare essentials, just, like, clothes and maybe a book about philosophy.
The essentials.
Yeah, the bare essentials. And the other one just clunks as she walks along. It's clearly full of bottles. And
Oh,
nothing
God.
else. Like,
Nice.
Ooh, what did you bring, Corday?
she's going to unzip it. She's going to, like, just say, well, we're going to start on the artisan gin. And she chucks it to you and hopes you catch it. And then afterwards, I have some grappa when we want to get really
Ooh.
serious.
Faye has already taken a swig, and she is setting out cards for King Cup.
Corday begins to smirk and takes the bottle back. He's like, that's my girl.
Oh, I brought Scrabble. Are we not doing Scrabble?
Drinking Scrabble!
Corday thinks for a minute and then goes, I'm into it.
Hey, that's the ticket.
I think Bean has 1 bag, which is just a respectable sized rucksack. As young as Bean is, I think they're the most. Just their aesthetic is the most battered looking.
Yeah.
They wear stuff that has been pre-owned and pre-loved.
Yeah. Worn in practicality, perhaps trying to find affection in loved clothes.
Indeed.
Oh,
Or
I was going to say they're kind of trying to fit in by wearing the clothes, like trying to find the same aesthetic as everyone else
Yeah.
in this group and try to look older.
mostly it's just the looking older than they are.
I like that.
Cool.
Clothes have history, even if Bean doesn't.
Roxana is like, Bean goes to get his bag. He's like, am I joining you, darling? Or
If you'd like to, yeah.
oh, that was...
It's one in a double at the moment, so
I'm sure we can manage.
I won't say no to the company.
Faye and Corday share a look.
Yeah, like Corday's is not impressed. It's just like, fuck, do we have to
And
deal
Faye
with this?
just calmly hands over a £5 note.
Corday takes it, sticks it in her pocket, but at no point looks pleased about the win. Like,
Well, I'll go get our bag situated.
sips from the artisan gin. Like,
Yeah.
Listen, we've all slept with Roxana, Corday. It's just a rite of passage.
do you say that aloud?
I don't think Luki should have said that aloud.
But, like, we know she definitely had a thing with Alexis at one point.
Yeah. I think she probably has, like, they've all tried it out at some point.
Yeah. I mean, if you're interested in these new human sensations, she is
I
the best
can't
person
imagine
to go to.
Wirral's doing that.
Wirral's.
Maybe not Wirral's and Bean then yet. Well,
Well, I'm going to have to think about that. I don't know if Corday has or hasn't.
I feel like Corday wouldn't have, considering she's so, like...
But maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's why she gets under it. It could be either way. Maybe she has and she hates her for it. Maybe she hasn't and she hates her for it.
Sorry.
Peter, you were saying something about Wirral's?
Oh, I was just gonna say Wirral's probably. Actually, I don't have anything to say about Wirral's. I was just trying to put a thought together about toasters, and it didn't really come out.
That's the most Wirral's thing.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, wait, so who then? Alexis and also Fei Li have had a thing with
Faye
Roxana.
probably
They've been
has,
around
yeah.
the longest, makes sense.
They have, yeah.
It was the Middle Ages. There was no
They
Netflix.
were very lonely.
1/3 of Europe had just died. Choices were limited.
Yeah.
Come to my palace, come to Bard and chill. The Bard has to watch, I'm very sorry.
She'd set herself up as a queen in... God.
A queen in God.
I'm trying to think of a flippin' medieval country to...
Flemish.
Flemington.
Flemish.
Or just like a courtesan, or just a courtier in like a courtier in Bavaria or something like that.
Bavaria,
Where
yeah.
did the Flemish people come from? Where?
I don't know.
Well,
They come from
Belgium and Holland.
Yeah, Holland.
Okay, sorry.
Back in the woods.
Netherlands and
I
Belgium.
tried to say Flemland.
Flemland.
We are such educated people
Let's
here.
just continue with the story.
Frickin' Corday's gonna take another gulp of the gin and be like, on the way to Flemland.
I remember
right.
Flemland. Oh, the Flems. Oh, Corday, I miss them so.
Such stark architecture.
So many clogs.
Who knew that you could make
I miss
footwear
the
out of wood
clogs.
and make it work?
Oh, they were so comfortable. I should start making clogs, Corday.
No, you shouldn't. No, you should
Call
not.
Norman, tell him to buy some wood.
Oh, the beer was something though back then.
Yes, fast,
Ugh. But they
You
had
can
an
taste the
unfortunate
grain and
habit
the
of
grit.
watering it down.
Well, yeah, but you got to drink it for every meal, so.
yeah.
It was the meal. It was like liquid bread.
It was
Do
good
you have any
times.
bread?
You know, I don't really remember the 18th century very well.
Just Wirrell's, because he can't really get in this conversation because he wasn't really there, is going to walk off and start absolutely going through and meticulously cleaning every single utensil in the kitchen. He's brought out spray and everything.
I love Wirrells.
I love him so much.
And he's actually got special equipment to do so. Like he's got there's a small coffee machine. He's got this tiny little pressure washer and he's using it to clean out the nozzles.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
He's definitely got silver polishing equipment. You know, like slightly tarry substance.
Oh yeah, he's got a stick of
Yeah.
rhubarb.
Oh my God.
You can polish silver with rhubarb?
Yeah, you can.
Alrighty, I think this would be a nice time to kind of skip forward a few hours.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of. So let me just. I hate to be a stickler. Let's get the room sitch sorted. Who is going where? I think
Right, so
I
it's
am
Roxana
sharing with
and
Faye.
Bean.
Yeah, Roxana and Bean,
Sitting
and then
in a
Alexis
tree.
and Wirrells. Right, and the other
That's
twin.
a combination. Yeah, okay.
And Corday and Faye.
Faye.
Yeah.
So we've ended up with 3 rooms.
We have, rather. There is a fourth room, so 2 people can split out, can't they?
We don't want to. We're all happy.
What are we going to do tonight?
Drink, I assume.
Absolutely. I've got some brandy downstairs, which I'm very, very up for. It's artisan, you know.
Oh, I love some artisanal brandy.
It's good stuff.
But how have you been, Corday? We haven't seen you in months.
Yeah, well, you know, London was getting a bit droll. I thought I'd try Paris again for a little while, but it's not what it used to be.
Well, no, the revolution's over.
It's a pity. It's harder and harder to find places. You know what I mean? Everything's so plastic.
Have you tried the Middle East?
No, I hear it was pretty good about 1,000 years ago, but I think at the minute it's a little hard to find peace.
Well, yes, there's a lot of revolution, but maybe not your cup of tea.
I was thinking maybe Japan. You know, in the new year.
You'd like
New year,
Japan.
new me. It's pretty edgy. Like I hear the techno scene is pretty pumping right now.
Well, if you go to Japan, I might join you. I miss it out there.
Oh, you don't have to come with me. Like, you know me. I loan ships and all that. I like my own company. You shouldn't leave your shop. You like your shop.
I do. But, well, I don't like to stay in the same place for too long.
Corday's gonna like chuckle a little bit as if to be like, but you've been in the same place for so long, kind of thing.
I keep the shop open, but I leave every now and then. Learn new things, meet new people, see some new faces. I don't like to get too attached to the same people.
No, I'm with you there. It's
They just keep.
it's hard, isn't it?
They just keep dying.
People are so unreliable,
I know. They're very fragile as well.
and you can't depend on them. They don't stick to their guns. It annoys me.
They change as they age.
And there's going to be a moment of silence there, I think. And then Cordy's going to be like, well, yeah, anyway, though, brandy.
Brandy.
I'm looking at somebody who looks like she needs a brandy in her hand.
Yes. I think I could go for a drink.
She's going to, rather than go downstairs, she's going to pour one in the room as like a little, like before the others kind of thing.
Pre
She's going
game.
to pour you a drink.
Pre-game.
Yeah. She's going to like fill it up a little and then look at you as if to be like, that enough?
More.
Does it,
More.
hands it over, pours, okay, more, alright. Like, she looks at you a bit like, are you sure, Faye? Like, you gotta pace yourself now.
Aww.
It's just a J2O.
Darling, I've been around for over a millennia. I think I can handle my booze by now.
Watch as she absolutely fails to handle a booze.
Yeah, she's definitely irate. She definitely cannot handle her booze.
And Corday kind of knows, like they know each other well enough. It's like, this isn't the first time they've drunk together, and she's not going to say you're a lightweight. She wouldn't do you the disservice. But like, she's going to fill it up like a hefty one, but not a stupid large one. She's going to hand it to you. She's going to pour one for herself that's like smaller. Still like a double, but it's like a reasonable amount. She's in this for the long haul. Then she's going to put the bottle aside. She's going to hold it up and she says, shall we toast?
Yes, what to?
To things that don't let you down.
I like that. To not being let down.
To not being let down. And she's going to smile at, like, because you're one of the, you're a constant in Corday's life.
Aww.
And she's clinging to that. She's like, cheers, and then she'll drink.
Helen, where are Roxanne been at, do you think?
I reckon Roxana has very efficiently, and like professionally, like stripped down and then just put on pajamas. And then not what you'd expect, because normally she's like all about like her, tight-fitting minimal clothing, and she's straight up wearing like joggers and like an oversized t-shirt, and it's like her hair has just been like mussed, and she's taking her makeup off, and she's just like, oh, well, darling, I am looking forward to a good night's sleep.
Bean has paused and I think just watched this. Bean is going to sit on the bed against the headboard, and they are not saying anything. I think they're very fidgety. Their coat's off, but they're very fidgety, and I think at the moment they're looking very kind of shrunk into themselves a bit.
You're not going to sleep like that, are you, darling? That won't be at all comfortable.
Am I bothering you?
Not at all.
Whatever this is that we've had for the last couple years, it's been great. I love being close to you, and I love being with you, but it feels like there's a wall. I thought there would be a road. Do you know what I mean?
I can't say that I do, darling. She like walks around like the bed and sort of like reaches out her hand, like standing by the side of the bed, and sort of reaches out her hand for beans.
Yep. Bean takes it and rests it against their cheek, and goes, When I first met you, I'd just come off a conversation with Alexis, and I'd asked them why they'd invited me, and their reply was, I basically don't think too deep into it. I was being kind of self-wallowing, so I'm trying not to do that here. I guess, what do you want from me?
Oh, sweetest. I want you to be you, and I'd like it if you could be you with me, but I think it's more, what do you want from me? Because I want to spend time with you and, I don't know, darling, maybe fall asleep next to you and maybe we can have breakfast together.
I don't know. I've been finding out who I am, and for the last, and that's happening slowly, and that will happen slowly. I don't know. I thought that was going to be. Yeah, I've been doing different stuff with different people, and I thought between us this was going to be a bit more. And they look down at themselves. I think they definitely blush, and they're like, "Screw it." I thought there was just going to be a bit more, intimacy, because that's not something I trust with anyone else.
And Roxana sort of moves her hand away a bit.
Mm.
It took me quite a few millennia to start to think I knew who I was. And I'm still learning, and I'm still finding out, and it isn't something you find through someone else, and what I think you're asking for, it's my job. It's work, darling. And I mean, I can introduce you to some very nice people, and you can get to know them over a year or so, like you have me, and then you can get to know yourself through them.
Okay. Sure.
Excuse me. And she sort of like is turning away a bit and just sort of like very much sort of pulling herself up a bit. Like,
why is this? I'm confused why this is so uncomfortable for you. What else is going on here?
She turns around with sort of a big smile, and it's like everything has just entirely disappeared from like, suddenly she's just straight back to being like, oh no, like I'm happy and cheery, and like, oh darling, I'm not at all uncomfortable. If this is what you would like, then I'm happy to help you.
And Bean retreats from that and goes, I know I haven't had long here, but I wasn't quite born yesterday.
To me you were, sweetest.
Is that the problem?
I didn't think it was.
Ah.
Oh, so that was a weak move of cave to your lover's wishes from me there.
Ooh. Take a token. Mentally.
Also, for the record, I also docked a token from asking, what do you want me to be?
Oh, I've also got, what do you want from me?
Oh, God. You guys are racking up the coins here.
Bean is going to stand up, and I am headcanoning at this stage that they are shorter than Roxana. They are going to step towards Roxana, put their arms around her shoulders, and say, I now know this. If it's not you, if I am just a job, then that won't do. I want to be with you, Roxana, not... and they just kind of gesture vaguely at Roxana's body, not this, which is actually docking a token and knowing myself for a moment, and then they're going to put that hand back around. They're just going to be leaning against Roxana, looking up at her, and waiting for a response.
Then, can you give me a little longer without this?
Of course.
And I'm going to spend a strong move to let yourself be loved.
Oh, nice.
And
scene.
Yes, scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think and scene.
In the kitchen, Wirrels is putting white vinegar through the coffee machine.
Why?
It's to clean it. It's to get any it's to descale it. It's to...
So Alexis is next to it talking about how great cleaning is.
It's, I bring my own vinegar and everything. You don't. It's not. It's not you don't know what you're going to catch off someone, but I'm not entirely sure what the person before brought. And anyway, it's always good to move to a new place, and not many people not even when you go for a deep clean, nobody really descales a coffee machine, and
then
he's
really
gonna.
don't.
No.
And they come to regret that later when you've got all kinds of lime skull in your coffee, and it's just really unpleasant. A crunchy coffee is nothing that anybody wants.
No, nobody has wanted a mocha with extra crisp. I probably should have used it in some sort of solution, though. I think I can't...
Did you just put plain vinegar through it? It does
okay.
smell quite strong in here. I don't want to say anything when I walked in, but there's a pervasive stink of... Is it white wine vinegar you're using? What is that?
It is white vinegar, and I probably should have used some sort of solution or water. That would make it a solution. You know what? The more I talk about it, the more I've realised my error.
Well, if you then run some water through it, we can basically make a solution, and we might have to leave the kitchen, because I think it's going to get pretty hot as you put the vinegar through, isn't it? And then we might just be breathing vinegar fumes. I don't know what that does to the body, you know?
I've never experimented with it, and I'm at the moment my eyes are watering too much.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna run the tap, and then see, and then he's just gonna sort of just walk out the room. Just go. Just Alexis, please join me.
Yeah, I would love to. How do we close this door? Oh God, it's open plan. Everyone else is gonna smell this.
Okay.
Wait, there's an extractor fan. Extractor fan.
Extractor fan. Okay. Wirls will go over, turn on the extractor fan, and go, "Oh shit, I cleaned that as well."
Oh no!
And then he's gonna go to the sink and do I'll give it a quick water wash, and hopefully I put some. It's not the strongest stuff, but it does have quite a smell of it. It's gonna sort of be lemon and ginger. Well, maybe lemon and ginger.
No, don't leave the lemon. That's enough acid.
Okay, sorry.
What neutralises vinegar? How about we put bicarb in it? Doesn't that neutralise it?
I think yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
He goes to his suitcase and pulls out some bicarbonate.
I've got cooking. Is that better quality? I don't know. So here you go. Pull it out.
Mine is industrial from 1972, so we'll use yours.
Why did he bring that on a trip?
I told you.
He's only brought cleaning supplies.
Wirls' bag is full of... When I said it was full of shit, I genuinely mean that he has one change of clothes, which is a shorts and shirt, and some sandals. even though he's going
socks.
to Wales, I have just realised this. And the rest of it, it's like bicarbonate. It's bicarbonate vinegar, post-it notes,
and other miscellaneous as the story unfolds.
Yes, it's
Just a bag of madness.
so.
Okay, Alexis pulls out a little tub of baking powder and goes, "Is this close enough? I mean, it's not exactly bicarb. I've also got what's baking soda? What's the difference in baking soda and bicarbonate of soda and baking powder? Maybe we just chuck them all in. I'm sure it'll neutralise something, won't it? Because I think that smell's going to wake everybody up, and I don't want to disturb them.
Let's do that quickly. But we'll put a bit of water in as well. Maybe that'll help. And he's gonna sort of cup water in his hands and then starts like putting it in.
Alexis opens the pot on the bicarb and starts to try and shake just a little bit in, and obviously a huge clump falls out and goes directly into the watery part of the coffee maker. And listener, the combination of vinegar and bicarb of soda is a lot of foaminess.
It's what's used to make fake volcanoes. Have you ever had to do that as a school project?
I never got to do that, and it always made me sad that I've never had the chance.
I experience it vicariously in audio format.
And when we next meet up, we can make one. We'll make a volcano together.
Yay!
We will. Food colouring optional, but recommended. This, sadly, is white and maybe a little bit brown from coffee stains.
Yeah,
as it starts to bubble out of the coffee maker.
Yeah, at this point, Wirls is hands on hips. We've either made it better or worse. I should be an expert on this. I did sort of start up this enterprise. However,
I was misremembering in terms of, don't you put bicarbonate on a wasp sting and vinegar on a bee sting, or the other way around?
I haven't been stung by a bee before. I
wouldn't recommend it necessarily, but I mean, it is a worldly experience, so you could try it sometime. It's not the worst.
It's not something that's on like Virgin Active or anything. It's not like pay 50 quid, be stung by a bee. So I didn't put it up as an experience.
Oh, I see. I'm sure you can pay someone to get you stung by a bee.
You literally can. It's like a fake medical thing. There's a Sawbones episode about it.
There is a Sawbones episode on it. I was trying to allude to that. Yeah. Now the foam it's starting to come onto the floor. I'm going to get a mop, and then maybe we should just leave a bucket underneath it and go.
I'm
Pretend it wasn't us.
Brief cut to upstairs, and then Corday is just like, you know what I could go for? A coffee.
Upstairs, Roxana and Bean have just got into bed, and then Roxana is like, "What is that smell?"
Kappa Frappolino with almond milk and some chocolate sprinkles.
Oh,
yeah.
I think
Colombian.
we should probably go check on that, darling.
I would like a mocha.
Yeah, with some cinnamon. Those pumpkin ones they did, a limited run. I want one of those.
Oh, they brought... Faye is now quite tipsy. They brought them back. They're,
They brought them back. I've had one or two. I'm not drunk, but yeah, it's wait, they brought them back.
Pumpkin mice, pumpkin...
and then Corday's going to say, I bet you anything you like, Wirrels has got some pumpkin juice knocking about. Let's try and make some.
Wirrels has just unplugged the coffee machine.
Yeah, we should have done that one first.
Yeah, and it's sort of laid out it's very organised. He's taken, I think he would have taken, I don't know that much about coffee machines, I'm pretty sure there's a filter.
Probably.
It's an unusual brand that we only have in this world. Wirrels and Corday actually collaborated to invent it.
There we go. Yes.
Corday's already forgotten.
Yeah.
So he's then just going to go, okay, problem, fixing. I'm going to take the sensible move. I'm just going to run a bit of water through it, like I was making coffee. So I'm going to reassemble it on top of the bicarbonate issue.
Right, so Alexis starts mopping up the excessive foam and has indeed put a bucket underneath the edge of the table where it's pouring off slowly in kind of splatty lumps.
Wirrels is going to go back to what he's going to sort of try and reassemble it around the bicarbonate and then just sort of run water through it to dissolve it, hopefully, full in the knowledge that if Corday is denied their coffee, Wirrels will be headbutted.
Hear footsteps on the stairs.
Oh god, I hear someone coming. Okay, well, it looks clean. I've got rid of the bicarb. I think that is probably fine. The first cup of coffee might take it. Oh no, I think she's coming. Right. Let's see where this back door goes.
So, Faye, the thing you have to understand, Faye, is that their second album, the one that they did in Tibet, was just objectively better.
Wirrels dives through the back door.
Corday, is that you? What's that smell, darling?
What smell?
There's a very strong odour coming from downstairs. I'll come down.
I absolutely was
Hang
not
on a minute. What are you saying? Are you saying I'm smelling?
come back to bed, darling.
Bean, sweetheart, that was a perfect impression of me.
Yay! It smells like the alcohol.
Corey's going to look at the glass and be like, yeah, of course it does. Wait. No, hang on a minute. Faye, you're right. There is a smell.
It's not me.
Wirrels?
The rest of them reached the kitchen to an empty kitchen with foam dripping out of the coffee maker.
No. Most of the foam was gone.
All over the floor.
Nope, that went as well.
The back door swinging gently.
There's just an ominous smell of vinegar and a little bit of foam dripping out the coffee nozzle. Most of it was tidied up.
And the extractor fan is turned on to full.
Oh dear, what has happened here?
I'm going to go for a cigarette.
Oh, crap.
Something.
Oh, no.
She walks away. Like she's going outside, but she's like, I am not solving this problem. Or, yeah.
All right, you walk out to see Alexis and we're all standing awkwardly in the back garden, not doing anything.
Yeah. I think
Corey's going to look at you both for a moment in confusion. She's not going to piece together that you might be responsible for the coffee machine. In her mind, she's already blamed Roxana for it.
Roxana, having come down to kitchen just after Corday, is wandering around the inside of the house looking for Wirrels and Alexis, and is like, Wirrels, Alexis, where are you, darlings?
Corday is going to look at Alexis and Wirrels in silence. She hears that. At this point, she pieces together what might have happened. She begins to grin at the slightly anarchist nature of it. And she's going to extend her carton of cigarettes out towards you as if to be like, anyone for a smoke?
out.
Inside, Faye has got really drunk really fast, and she is doing that drunk girl thing. She is sat on the floor. She surrounded
I'm sorry
by
I abandoned
baking
you. I feel like
soda.
I've betrayed the sisterhood.
We were some of heaven's greatest.
Roxana comes back into the kitchen to find Faye on the floor.
She's the floofy baking soda stuff has fallen onto the floor, and she's just kind of sat there poking it, patting it with her hand, it's fluffy.
Oh, Faye, sweetheart, don't poke that. It could be you don't know what it is.
We're immortal, you flubber.
It smells quite terrible. Maybe don't. Oh, Alexis!
I am
Alexis,
a
are
grown
you here?
angel. I will poke whatever I like.
We're not angels anymore, sweetest. You know this. Come on. Up you get. Up you get.
I am a grown, fallen angel, and I will fall on the floor if I want
Oh
to.
no. Okay.
I'm on the
2
floor.
feet.
I'm on the floor. I'm on the floor.
Up we get.
Roxana.
Up
Leave me
we
on the
get.
floor
Yeah.
to our new life.
Nope.
No,
Up it. Yeah,
the
there
floor and
you
I
go.
are in
No.
love. We don't
Come
want
on,
to be
sweetheart. You know I
separated.
can't
No,
carry
no,
you.
No, we're very happy. We're very happy, Roxana. We're very
Get
You
us some
said
bread.
this before.
very
Oh,
happy
I've got
together.
bread. Would a crumpet do?
I
Yeah.
don't want
Alexis,
to
Just
Alexis
we're
pops back in through
outside.
the back door. Oh God, no!
If
Don't
you-
touch that, Faye.
Roxana.
What's wrong with her?
I'm sad.
Oh God, has she been drinking again?
It smells like
Well,
it,
this-
darling.
The
Yeah, I
world
can't
is
smell much
very
above the vinegar. I think my nostrils have sort of
I smell
expired.
sad.
Yes, we'll
What
talk
kind of
about that in a
sense of
moment.
Smell do you have?
Oh, I mean, whatever that terrible smell is. Sorry, what was that, Faye?
What?
Oh God, she's gone, isn't she? Should we get her back up to bed? Is that what you're trying to do?
No.
I'm trying, but she just
Nope.
decided the floor is her new home.
Between the two of us, we can do it. Right, I'll grab this arm, you
Nope.
grab the other. 1,
Yep.
2, 3, heave! Up we
There
go.
you go.
Faye is just like so small she can't fight you.
No, I think Alexis is big as well. Like she's big and she's broad. Right, come
Roxana
on.
is just like model, tall and skinny.
Yeah. Look, shall I just scoop her? I'm just gonna bridle carry her upstairs. Just don't tell her later, okay?
There you go.
Oh,
You're
there we go,
lucky
got her.
I don't have my wings anymore, or I would
yes,
hit
I
you
know.
with them.
I know.
You
I know
know,
you would.
you know I was tough.
Yes,
You
you
were
were. You
I
were.
had a big sword.
It was such a nice sword. Are
It
you,
was
are
a
you
really
okay,
nice
Alexa?
sword. I miss
Absolutely,
my
yes. I'm glad she doesn't have a sword right now. I'll be
Alexis,
back in
I
just a
miss my
second.
sword.
Bean pokes their head out the room. You guys had swords?
Alexis, can you tuck me into bed?
Yeah, it's more of a spear situation for me personally, but anyway.
had
Can
a
anyone
heart.
make her a coffee? Not with the machine. There's some instant in my bag. I think she
want
needs to sober up a
coffee,
little
I
bit, otherwise
want
she's just gonna.
more
Just
alcohol.
let her get. We'll see if we can get some water in her and she can just sleep it off.
Okay,
I don't
right,
need
fine.
water, I'm not a plant.
You're a beautiful plant.
You just hear Faye's voice fading as Alexis carries her up the stairs.
So while that's all going on, Corday has lit Whirls' cigarette, and now she's just kind of like leaning back against the wall. And then there's going to be, I imagine, like a moment of silence because these two very rarely interact. Like,
They have
it's an
nothing
odd
to say to
pairing.
each other.
For a moment, and then Corday is going to be like, so be honest,
Just a little bit nicer for everyone else. It's
you wanted to make the pristine cabin in the Welsh hills nicer.
Yes, because not everything is pristine. It's when you go to a place. I've heard you complain about things being plastic and static.
Yeah,
That's-
they have no life.
Yeah, places that have no life. But how do you fix that? Do you go there and create life? Do you go there and do you go there and be anarchistic? Do you go there and paint on walls, spray paint on ceilings, XYZ?
She's going to like turn her head a little bit as if to be like, that's a surprisingly deep question. And then she's going to think about it for a minute. She's like, yeah, I suppose I do. I think the place is what you make it, right? So
exactly.
If it's your own space, you make it your own. You decorate it with things you like, things that are uniquely you, that they're not somebody else's, right? Cleaning it is just removing the character.
I'll tell you one thing. When we turned up here, there wasn't a coffee machine. I brought that.
This is true.
I
Really? Oh my
that's one of my ones. And I was just gonna leave it, but I noticed it. I noticed it. Well, I might have used it once or twice and forgot to clean it then, so I decided to do it now. What would be a more terrible gift than a gift that is in some way tarnished? Just make everything a bit nicer for everyone else.
So Corday is like, she's kind of listened to what you've said, and she's kind of understood the perverse logic of it. And so she's going to, like, again, cock her head to the side. She's going to say, Whirls, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What do you do for fun? Like, really? What do you do?
It's tricky, that. Because I don't really do much. I sometimes try and I write Sudokus. And, well, I don't... Well, it's more organising Sudokus at this point. The sort of maths part has sort of been worked out, but as I organise Sudokus for a couple of magazines,
You create Sudokus?
Well, it's more organised. I organise there's a small local magazine that, just has a puzzles column, and I've organised that.
And that's fun?
Yes. Think about it.
I'm trying.
Okay. A great painting. Okay, maybe not for you. A mural. Think of it. A beautiful mural on the side of a building. Everybody who people will walk past it. They'll want to get photos with it. The artist gets the most from that, in a way. And the neighbourhood looks prettier because of it. I put in one Sudoku, 9x9, a 16x16 occasionally. And somebody might sit there and just get through their day. And when they get to the end of it and they've worked it out, they feel amazing. They feel great. And then they go to the next day, and there's another Sudoku.
So it's something that they've achieved themselves?
Yes.
And you give them the ability to do that?
Yeah. I see where you are. I see why we haven't got on. I think you're larger and public. And whilst larger and public revolutions, or public revolutions or revolutions through art and music and whatever will touch hundreds of people, they experience it. They don't do it. And people do Sudokus.
So Courtney's going to kind of consider for a minute as the cigarette burns down. She's kind of going to look at your kind of bizarre fashion sense as well, and your kind of general obtuse look, and she's going to say, "You know what? That actually makes sense in a really strange way." And then she's going to pat you on the shoulder, and she's going to be like, "Right, I think you need a drink, Whirls."
Could you do me a favour before that?
Yes.
Could you go inside, and in my pack there's another set of shoes. I have a horrible sensation that I've got my foot in a dead hedgehog.
She's gonna look down and then look back at you, and she's gonna say, "You might be the most unique person I've ever met," in a really strange way. And then, you know what? Actually, she's gonna go back in, and then she's gonna turn back, and she's gonna be like, "I'm sorry if I ignored you." All right?
That's okay.
And she's already gone. She's already gone.
She's gone to the kitchen where Roxana is mopping up.
Yeah, and then she's immediately her trademark kind of scowl returns. She's like, "Oh, sorry, excuse me. I need to get past."
Oh, just go around, darling.
I will.
You clean up everyone's mess. I'm only over 2,400 years old. Just leave me be.
As your back is turned, Courtney's going to do a kind of mime like an old woman, kind of like, she's going to kind of, yeah. That right, and then she's going to roll her eyes, go into Whirl's bag. So I was going to suggest we don't I think we could cut to the evening where we're going to be sitting down having some drinks, I imagine. If Faye has sobered up.
Yeah.
Enough.
Although I will say, I kind of want Faye to have a bit of a breakdown, because she's very kind of...
She's very controlled, isn't she?
She's very controlled, but
Did you want to have it where she's still we're sitting down to drink as a group, but she's still a bit tipsy, so that might well happen? Should we say it's late in the evening? They've eaten.
Yep, they've had dinner.
Yeah, and then they're all sitting down in a circle. Everyone's got their drink of choice. What is their drink of choice?
Good question. I have no idea. Give me a second.
The people who don't drink desperately trying to remember what drinks exist.
So Corde's definitely got another brandy. She's very much about this unusual brandy that she's got.
I think Wirrels has has one of these bottles of wine that has loads and loads of awards stuck on it, but is quite medium.
Yeah, Corday is at one point she's kind of, after their chat, she's giving you the benefit of the doubt because she thinks that you're somebody who genuinely has a unique perspective on the world. And she's tried the wine, she's like, that is remarkably average. That is...
I know.
I may never have tasted anything quite so unremarkable in my life.
I know. I have... You know what? I am slightly addicted to the fact that it is so average. I have tasted good wine and bad wine, and yet this, it's not even a palate cleanser.
In a way, that is quite unusual, is it not? Huh. Sits it down. However, I won't be having it. And she goes back to
be honest,
brandy.
fair.
Goodness. I think Alexis is looking between them as they talk in a kind of like, this is a language I do not understand and I've been on this earth for a long while. And she's going to go, Corday, may I try a little bit of your brandy? I hear you've been talking about it so effusively.
Yep, it is from a run of only 15 bottles.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Very, very unique. Thank you.
It's a startup. It's also vegan.
What would they put in
brandy
brandy to make it not
vegan?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but it does have vegan on the bottle. Like, I'm not a questioner.
Meet out the regular brandy.
Faye is drinking a White Russian.
Nice.
Naturally.
Yeah, she mostly likes it for the cream.
What is Bean and Roxana drinking? I think we're still waiting on them.
I feel like Bean is Bean is just kind of having a little bit what everyone else is having in a kind of I still need to find out what I like kind of way.
Corday is very much of the opinion that drinking gets you closer to the person. You know what I mean? Like, the more drunk you become, the more yourself you become. She conforms very much to that. So as soon as she sees if you're being a bit shy, she's like, come on, drink up, and like going to fill up your glass. Like, get that down here.
Pink gin and lemonade.
Ooh, nice.
Ugh.
Of course.
I was like,
That's
what's
Corday.
as
I like
far
pink gin,
away
that's
from
Corday.
brandy as I can think of?
Yeah, what's the furthest you can go?
Yeah,
Pink
that's-
gin
Is that the
lemonade.
first search
Bean is
result
going.
on
Bean is going to
cocktails
be
for sexy
mixing
people?
all of these as the night progresses.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh
hell.
my lord. Okay.
The White Russian and the Pink Gin is the combination I'm least...
That would curdle.
Bean is waking up in the freezer.
All right, so Corday, having had a few drinks at this point, she's kind of a bit more animated than she usually is. She's clearly in her element more than you guys have seen her in a while. She's kind of used to this kind of thing, where like drinking and being a bit boisterous and not talking about your feelings because you're kind of having fun.
Yeah,
She's
fair.
kind of, this is more her bag, so she's kind of adopted herself as like leading this, and so she's going to say, right, guys, I've got an excellent idea. I think we should play Never Have I Ever.
Oh, goodness. Oh, I feel like me and Roxana have pretty much done everything, haven't we?
Oh, I'm trying to struggle to think of what I haven't done.
I was born for this game.
No, you win if you drink.
Wait. Do you
Shit.
drink if you do, or do you drink if you don't?
You drink if you do.
but
You drink
win
if
by
you
getting
do.
drunk.
Oh, no.
So therefore, the drunkest one has done the most, and therefore is the winner.
Well,
Right, I
Faye
feel like
has
me
an
and
unfair
Roxana-
head start.
Well, yeah, and also me and Roxana have like done... Well, and Faye to that point. When you've been around for a very long time, you...
All right then.
It's-
Miss
there's- I'm sure there's lots
Put
of
your money
modern
where your
things.
mouth is.
I'm
unless
sure.
you're scared.
I'm sure Wirral and Corday, with their modernism, will have some things we haven't tried yet. Some nice suggestions, perhaps.
I just
We
want
might,
to. I
we
want
might.
to. I was past modernism. I was post modernism. I'd just like to point that out.
She looks at you as in to be like,
Sorry,
It all blends together at this point, sweetest.
fair.
Every age is modern until it's not. All right, fine.
Oh,
fine,
I'll drink
Corday,
to
fine.
that.
Yeah, no,
Alrighty.
I'll partake if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
okay, I will kick it off. Never have I ever had a steady job.
Faye drinks.
Yeah.
Roxana drinks.
Alexis
definitely
drinks.
drinks.
Bean drinks. And is
What did you
disappointed
do?
in themselves.
Yeah, like I'm gonna glance at Bean and be like, so what did you do?
Not did. You know that second-hand bookstore under on the South Bank.
Tomes on
open-air
the
one.
Thames. You've all heard of it, of course.
Tomes
I know
on the
Tones on the Thames, yeah.
No, it's there. It's nice. I get to meet people. I get to, I get to people watch. They do jazz nights every so often. It's cool. I thought you'd actually really like it, Corday. You should come by.
You know what? I will, Bean. I will
Yes, you
come by.
definitely should. It's always absolutely delightful. And the owner is such a sweetheart. I'm sure you'd get on very well.
I'm sure it's delightful, yes. Who's going next?
Roxana, you do one.
Oh, sweetheart, what haven't I done?
Corday.
She snorts and drinks.
Oh, Faye, you've drunk too much.
Never.
Never
If I
have
put you
I...
two on the spot, I'm sorry.
Ever.
You could pass it on.
No, let the woman speak.
Never have I ever belittled someone for their job.
Corday cackles like a little evilly and drinks almost with pride. Like, as if to be like, some jobs are worth mocking kind of thing.
Alexis swirls her glass and thinks about it, but doesn't drink.
Not on purpose. I didn't know what a best boy was until I googled it. Laughing at him for 20 minutes.
To be honest, I work adjacent to film and I still don't know what a best boy is.
Tell me, Corday, exactly how many careers are not within your standards?
Oh, I don't keep count, darling. But I'll say this: you'll never catch anyone with brain working for the man, working without using their core ideals. There are too many people who are slaves to their jobs.
And the people who are working with their core ideals but still don't live up to your standards?
Are you insinuating something?
Oh,
Are you
always,
suggesting?
sweetheart. Some of us do it a bit more subtly than you.
I see. I didn't
Never
realise we were being
have
subtle.
I ever. I have never ever knocked over a Christmas tree. Like Alexis is grasping at straws and trying to like.
Corday bursts out laughing like it's the funniest thing anyone's ever said. Like,
Slightly panicked look in their eyes, like stop fighting.
Roxana
family.
smiles at Alexis and takes a little bit of a sip.
never have I ever started a revolution, and then she sips like as if she's
Faye
bragging.
drinks a lot.
Roxana sips.
Faye
Roxana
absolutely
drinks.
drinks.
Yeah.
She kind of narrows her eyes at Roxana and immediately like assumes it's a challenge, and she's
Does
like,
a revolution
"Oh."
have to be, countrywide? Could it be more like a general strike?
You ever heard of the sexual revolution? Faye gestures to Roxana.
I'll take it.
Workers'
Whoa,
revolt.
whoa, Faye, Faye.
I'm talking about Roxana.
Oh,
Thank you,
Oh.
sweetest. It was a proud moment for all of us. And we're all, of course, your support is always appreciated.
I think I sold you that bicycle.
I believe you gave it to me as a gift, actually, but
I don't think you want
sorry,
it back.
I forget.
Genuine question. For my revolution, will I need a bicycle?
Depends heavily on the revolution.
A communist one, particularly.
A climate revolution would require bicycles.
It would. You don't have to pay for petrol. It's more accessible to the working man, woman, person.
You can put a little basket on the front and keep a dog in there.
I was going to say put pepper spray in the basket, but
whoa.
Oh, I did a thing where it was like I had a horn, except instead it was pepper spray. The problem is that you spray it, but then you're still going forwards, so you kind of cycle into the spray.
oh, you cycle into it. Oh God.
Hey, oh, darling.
It didn't work.
I knew there was a reason that didn't go wide.
Speaking of eyes watering, never have I ever sabotaged a coffee machine with vinegar.
Everyone just
drinks.
turns to look at Wirral expectantly.
Alexis is already drinking and then just side eyes. We're all like,
Wirralls puts a hand over his
Alexis,
mouth and then very
really?
clearly drinks.
I expect this from Wirral.
it wasn't sabotage, to be fair. God, that's strong stuff, that brandy. It was more
Have some more.
cleaning gone awry.
Oh, well, we've all had a rye cleaning before, haven't we?
Is that? I haven't heard
Have
that
we?
one
Have a
before.
good rye
That's a new one.
cleaning.
Isn't a rye cleaning where you use bread? Although, on a point of revolutions, I mean, in a modern age, I would probably I think, Faye, I think you've had so much experience, you've best set up for one of these, because you have an innumerable amount of weapons probably stored as artifacts in numerous places around the
That's
world.
true, but revolutions don't last. It always comes back to the status quo. They don't change anything. They just change who's on top occasionally.
Never have I ever been let down by a cause.
Faye chunks.
Oh, Wirralls is just going to drink and go, the cause. They could have had such a promising music career, and yet, what did they do?
Talk on corners wasn't that bad. Then she kind of stops herself. She's like, wait, what did I just fucking say?
Faye slowly moves your glass away from you. You've had enough.
Roxana raises an eyebrow.
She's going to grab the glass back. She's like, now you listen, there's enough Irish folk in it. It's not a bad album. The Tin Tin Out remix is actually not bad. All right? All right.
Can I lean to Bean and go, you know what, they're losing me. Do you know what they're talking about?
Something before my time.
I was living in a cave in the Andes during this period, so I really don't know.
Never have I ever gone stood above the subways in Paris and tried to let the wind blow through me to remind me of what it was like to fly.
Faye drinks.
Roxana drinks.
Yeah,
we're all
Corday goes to
drinks.
drink and then notices everyone else is drinking and is like, that's weird.
Yeah, Alexis drinks.
We should go to Paris again soon.
Bean doesn't drink, but is like, I should try something like that.
Never have I ever jumped off a tall building.
What did you just say, Corday?
Never have I ever jumped off a tall building.
Faye drinks.
And then she drinks.
Roxana drinks.
Define jumped. I fell once. It was...
Was it a deliberate fall?
Yeah, well, I tripped. I tripped.
I think
Alexis
you're fine.
starts laughing and also takes a drink.
For just a few beautiful seconds, it felt like flying again.
There are things you can get that, help do the flying thing and aren't quite so
It's not the
morbid.
same.
Oh no,
This was
helicopters are really expensive.
It was a long time ago for me, darling.
I was talking about parachutes.
Oh, I'll
The
talk about hang
technology-
gliding.
Tried
wasn't
parachuting, but it's not the same.
I would
It's not.
recommend hang gliding. I honestly would. I try and go every couple of years, and it's
Me
it's
now
good
having to
time.
try and work out when parachutes were invented to justify the fact that I've said that she was jumping off buildings before parachutes existed.
It's really difficult to jump off the Great Pyramids of Giza because you just end up
Yeah, you
up
kind of just
sliding
like
down
boom,
the
boom,
side.
boom, boom, boom. I jumped off the Sphinx once. Yeah.
Did you
It's got no
really?
nose. Oh, darn it.
That was you. That was you.
That was a cultural artifact, and that has been vexing people
still
for a very long time.
have
Why it has
it.
no nose. I cannot believe.
It's my dining table.
All right, I got one. Alexis will fix Corday. There seems to be a Corday challenge this entire game with a look and say, "Never have I ever been beaten up by the police," and drink.
Roxana drinks.
Again, Corday drinks as well. Be like,
Oh,
you know nothing. You know nothing.
I had an altercation with a police dog outside Chipping Norton.
you know what? That counts.
Never have I ever had lunch with Cleopatra.
Oh, fuck
She
off.
was a lovely woman.
She says
was
that
a
aloud.
lovely-
That
Yeah.
feels unfair somehow.
Sorry, B.
Everyone,
Alexis
all three of us drink. Faye drinks.
Roxana winks at Corday.
I see how this is, okay? Never have I ever had to call someone else of the rest of us because I didn't understand the latest iOS update.
Faye drinks.
Roxana drinks.
Bean goes to high five Corday.
But like Corday goes to high five you, and then she kind of the drunken guilt gets the better of her, and she's like, "So it wasn't one of you, but I did have to ask, all right? And there's no shame in that. I'm like 250 years old. It happens to everyone, all right?" Faye,
Oh,
drink more. And she's gonna lean over and like
Thank you.
fill up your glass. You look sad. Cheer up. Why are you sad, man? We're here. We're partying. What more could you want?
Talk to us, Faye. What's the matter, darling?
Isn't this what you wanted?
I don't like that we're arguing. And I'm bored. We're not here with everything. I'm taking a week move to confess my despair. I've been here for over 1,000 years. And everything changes, but it's all the same in the end. People just keep dying. I can learn everything they come up with, but I'll never be one of them. And I'll never be who I was either. I'm just something in the middle.
Roxana sits there next to her and puts her arm around Faye's shoulders.
Dude, you're bringing the mood down. Come on. What are you doing?
Now I want to take a strong move. I'm not going to do the exact wording of what this strong move is, but I'm going to say, what are you trying to be, Corday? What are you looking for?
Interesting, given I literally just used my weak move, which was lashing out to defend yourself. She's like, "What kind of a question is that? Come on, we're here to party. We're not here to. This isn't a therapy group.
Don't
We're here
mind
to-
Corday, Faye.
Nobody asked you, all right?
No,
Stay out
you
of
were
it.
Oh,
asking. You're
shut up,
incapable of
Corday.
answering.
Leave Roxana alone.
Oh, Faye, Faye. Don't you worry about me.
Faye.
Oh, no, look, I'm stepping in. This isn't funny. You can't just keep going after Roxanne like this. We're all putting up with it. We're all alluding to it.
I'm going for a
Corday,
cigarette.
You're just sitting here being a little shit, and it's just not helpful.
Whoa, a little shit. Hello, look at who's talking. Look at this.
Oh, what? You wanted me to get angry and now you're actually interested in me?
Look at that, a
thank you
reaction.
very
Everybody's
much.
reacting now. People's emotions are coming out. Wow, look at this.
Alexis, Faye, it's really...
Patronising. Little...
Oh, and
I'm
Alexis...
just trying to make this...
Emotions are coming out, Corday. We have millennia of emotions, of heartbreak, of loneliness, of helplessness, building up within us, and the
Then
only way we
admit
can
it.
keep above the surface is to build ourselves these rafts of masks and things to keep us busy and people to concentrate on. And if you start scratching away at it, we start to slip under again.
All right. You guys all want to sit here and talk about feelings some more, right? Maybe start about looking the feelings that you actually have rather than all this happy camper bullshit, all right? I'm going for a cigarette. I will see you guys later. She steps out.
Wirrels will stand up to block the door, and in his hand he has his shoe, which Corday knows has recently been covered in
Dead hedgehog.
decaying hedgehog. He has cleaned it, but it is still worrisome.
Alexis also stood up, but there is no immediate exit, and they just kind of stand there.
Roxana still has, her arms around Faye and is just like, we're doing okay, sweetest. Don't you worry about little old me. And I'm sorry that I was arguing. It wasn't fair on me. I know we were here for a nice
trip.
trip.
Your fault. Corday is pushing you. Corday, I love you, and I want you to be here and be part of us. But why are you so angry with Roxana?
She's going to kind of stand there for a minute facing Wirrels. And it kind of looks like she might be about to say something, but then she's going to say, I just need a cigarette. And then she's going to go past him and out the door.
All right. He'll allow it.
Yeah, and she kind of gives you a look, which isn't get the fuck out of my way. It's more like, please let me go past.
Yeah, he's gonna. He will not resist.
Don't you worry, Faye. I talk to people like Corday every other day. It's really nothing. It's just words.
But Corday's one of us. She should understand.
I'm sure she will eventually. And you're right. I shouldn't have been egging her on. It wasn't helping.
You weren't.
Well, you were, but it was justified.
Okay, you were. What are we going to do?
I wish I had the guts to do it. Egg her on. I just say nice things to her and hope she'll like me, and she doesn't bloody ever listen, and she just does this. Sorry, Faye. I'll leave you to talk.
Alexis, she does like you. If I'd tried to arrange this whole thing and invite her along, we wouldn't have seen hair nor hide of her.
Oh, I don't believe that.
She comes
She'd
to
have come
every
along,
event you put on.
I mean, that's because I'm the only one ever organising these things, and she wants to see you lot. It's not about... She doesn't care about me. She doesn't like the things I do. She doesn't like me either. She thinks I'm the stupid soft one who wants to talk about my feelings, and she thinks you're the floozy who's got, God knows what her... She thinks you're so progressive, and she's just so rude to you every single time.
Oh,
every single time.
She's young.
She's not that young.
She's not angry with you because she thinks you're a floozy. She's angry with you because she thinks you're a liar.
Oh, she thinks I'm both.
Alexa sits down on the sofa and takes a large swig of the brandy.
This is going to be a bold question, and one that you may not have to answer, but have you ever completed a Rubik's Cube? There's no point to the Rubik's Cube. There is no point. Once you have completed it, you've got the completed Rubik's Cube. But what do people do? Have you ever seen a completed Rubik's Cube in a shop? Well, not the ones in sealed packaging, but when they have them on the display, they're never done. They're always messed up because you can't help when you see the perfect version of it. Because nobody wants a perfect world. Nobody wants something so glorious and perfect and all put together. They pick it up, they mess it up again, and then they redo it. You've been doing that for thousands and thousands of years.
Do you think that's why we fell? Because we were made to create a perfect world, but there's no point in a perfect world, so there's no point in us.
No, there is a lot of point in us. We're not trying to make things more perfect. We're trying to make one side right, Because we can't make the world perfect. We can't make the world the perfect. Every single colour matches in all the different places. But we can make one side right.
And I suppose it's a little thing to start that side. It's picking up a hitchhiker and having an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it's puzzles. It's puzzles. It's book and vape shop. It's a book and a vape shop and a vinyl store and a whatever you're running at the moment that will bring. It's that weird shop that people enjoy going into. I've heard people talk of your shop.
You have?
Yes, and they say
Oh, many times.
they say they love it because it's chaos.
I do love chaos.
I don't know if this was a strong move to attach beautiful meaning to coincidence, but
I think so.
Oh, definitely.
In my heart of hearts, I will take it as
Aw.
that. Wirrels will put on his shoe.
Oh.
That shoe smells very bad, Wirrels.
Can we? I think we need to get the vinegar out again, Wirrels, and it's not for. It's for that shoe.
We need to get the pudding out.
The vinegar for the shoe.
Oh,
Is there pudding?
I thought you said
Although
the pudding.
would be wanted.
I've also got pudding. You know me, I've always got pudding.
Oh, you're so reliable, darling.
I try.
I was waiting for the vinegar smell to go away. He decants himself to the kitchen.
Maybe if I put the oven on, it'll help it pass.
Olivia,
Yeah.
excuse me for just a minute. And Roxana is going to pick up the brandy bottle and head outside.
Oh.
Yes, I was waiting for this. Corday is like, I'm assuming, I don't know how you guys have been picturing the cabin, but I'm assuming there's like a little stone wall, like a Welsh kind of, almost like closing off the front garden that may once have been.
Yeah, that sounds sensible.
She's kind of stepped away from the house and she's like leaning against the wall with her back to you, and you can kind of see kind of every couple of seconds there's like the flare of her inhaling the cigarette and a bit of steam comes off, and she's got her back to you.
She's so cool.
Roxana will head up and stand looking out over the wall next to her and hold out the bottle of brandy.
She's going to look at you for a minute, and it's clear that like you can tell just in the way she's looking at you that she, in kind of a slightly drunken haze, she kind of regrets. She looks like she looks very upset that she's upset Faye, and she's kind of aware of what she's done, but she's too proud to do anything about it. But after a second, she will kind of look from you to the bottle, and then she will kind of snatch the bottle from you and take a sip.
How are you feeling? Are you okay?
How do I look like I'm feeling?
Like shit.
What are you doing here? Why are you out here? Go in, have fun, enjoy yourself.
Well, it wouldn't be the same without you.
That's bullshit. That is bullshit, and you know it.
Not at all. You've been around for quite a while now. We do miss you.
Do you always do this? She's gonna say, like, do you always do this? Is this really you? Right? All of this, darling. Like, what do you? You're like.
I met a fascinating lady quite a while ago.
Oh, cut the crap.
And she called everyone darling and sweetheart, and she was so carefree, and I just picked it up, and I'm never letting that go.
Why are you chuckling? Why are you laughing? What is this to you? Is this some kind of performance you're doing? Some kind of game?
The memory makes me happy.
Really?
Of someone that I love deeply? Yes, really.
And is that true? Because I find it really hard to tell. Is that you, or is that some little tidbit you've learned off of a Chinese cookie?
It's been quite a while. I don't know what is me anymore. If you'd met me back when I had my wings, I don't think I would have recognised the person I was then. We are our experiences, piled up on each other, bit by bit. We're all a little bit of everyone we've ever met, everyone we've ever known, and everyone we've ever loved. And I think there's definitely some part of who I once was down there, but... I mean, are you exactly who you were?
I am who I am. At least I'm honest about it.
So am I, sweetest.
What do you want from me? What do you want from me? What do you want me to say?
I don't mind what you think of me. I know it upsets Faye and it upsets Alexis, and I have been baiting you a bit, and I am sorry, I was just bored. But there's nothing you can say to me that hasn't been said centuries before by people who have far less charm than you.
Thank you very much.
I don't mind. I mean, it's a bit upsetting that someone who I was hoping would be in my life more permanently has such a low opinion of me, but... I mean, it's nothing I haven't heard, it's nothing I haven't seen, but... You're as miserable as the rest of us, Corday. And if your issue is with me lying, then I think you ought to be truthful yourself.
What do you want me to say? Do you want me to say that everything I like disappears? Do you want me to say that every cause I've ever believed in has fallen apart? That everything beautiful I've ever seen gets washed away? Nobody even cares about the best things in the world? Is that what you want me to say? Do you want me to say that?
If that's what the truth is for you.
What is the... I spend my life, right? I spend all of my time trying to find the most beautiful things that I can find, the most perfect, and they are so bloody fragile. They break if you touch them, and if you experience them too much, they disappear. And the most criminal thing is nobody cares. Nobody cares. The thing... You guys talk about humanity like it's something beautiful, like it's something to be attained with, and it is just... It's apathetic, and it is cruel, and it doesn't care. And that is terrifying to me. That is so scary. And I struggle to deal with that. I struggle to deal with it. I really do. The only way that I can even begin to reason it is to try and be like that, to try and not care. But it's really hard not to care, because caring is what makes it worth it. But it hurts, and it's hard to balance all of that at once. Does that make any sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense.
It is exhausting. It is absolutely exhausting. And it feels so good to say that.
What do you love, Corday?
I love Charlie Parker. I love Charlie Parker. I really love bizarre, crazy jazz. I love it. And it is a thing that exists. And most people don't even know it exists. But it is beautiful. And I love it.
Did you know there's a type of isopod called the rubber ducky isopod? It's a thing that exists and you didn't even know it 2 seconds ago.
That makes sense in a really strange way. I will give you credit.
Perhaps I've been spending too much time with Wirral.
That does sound like something Wirral would say. Yes.
It really does. I might have picked it up from him a few centuries ago.
So what do you love, Roxana?
I want to be loved. And I love the idea that my love can make others happy. But I think the main thing that I love is Alexis and Faye and Wirrals and now Bean and you. It's been so long, and there are days where I'm so tired all day. No matter what I do, it just doesn't go away. And it's like Fate was saying, everything changes, but nothing actually ever changes, no matter how hard I try. So I do what I can, and I keep doing what I can, and I try to do what I can, and what I can is never enough. And what I am is never enough. But I have this constant now. The moment I met Alexis, I was so lonely. I was so miserable and lonely before I met her. And slowly we've just found more and more people, and I know that we're not perfect and you can't stand me. And Alexis, bless her heart, just wants all of us to like her. But I think what I love is knowing that when everything else goes and everything else changes and the people I know now are gone, I'll still have all of you.
It doesn't get any easier, does it?
No. Would you like me to lie to you?
No. Look, I don't hate you, alright? I don't hate you. I just find you profoundly irritating.
You're not the first one to, darling.
But that's okay. And I'm sorry if you thought I hated you. That's not what I meant. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry if I upset you, and oh god, I need to talk to Faye. What have I done? And Alexis, my god.
It's okay. Don't understand. And also, I'm not sure Faye will remember much of it in the morning.
Like, you can tell me to fuck off if you like, if it's not my business, but you don't take Bean for granted. They're innocent and they're inexperienced, and they might. I don't want you to corrupt that by accident.
Neither
because
do
I could see how that could happen.
Neither. It's a terrifying thought.
If you ever tell them I said this,
I know.
Then...
No one will ever know you care. But no, thank you for worrying. And I know that a lot of these last year or so has come from a place of concern for them. And Wirrels has always said that maybe I should try and find something more solid, more permanent. And I'd like that something to be Bean, if they're willing, but I don't want to rush this. I mean, they haven't been here for very long, and there's still a lot they don't know, and I am so old. Basically a crusty old woman. And
yeah, you are.
I am.
She smiles as she says it. Like,
Roxana smiles back. I'm not going to rush things.
Come on, let's get inside.
Yes.
And hey, this doesn't mean we have to pretend to like each other, does it?
Not if you don't want to. But maybe ease up a little bit on the career. I think it is rather concerning Alexis and Faye and even Wirrels at this point, and it takes a lot to get that man concerned.
You're right. Come on, darling.
Yeah, I think Alexis has her feet up on the sofa and is eating a large bowl of what looks like shop-bought apple pie and ice cream, and is just looking miserable.
So I'm imagining, like, Alexis is sat with, like, her back to the arm of a sofa, and Faye, and, like, their legs up at the other end, and I think the legs are going over Faye's lap.
Bean's found something to read in the corner, just to kind of be present.
Corday and Roxana are going to come through the front door. Corday's going to stand there, kind of like head down a little bit, as a bit like kind of a dog that knows it's done wrong, kind of thing. And then she's going to look at Roxana and kind of nod to Bean, as if to be like, you, I got this. You go to Bean, kind of thing.
Roxana will give a like small smile and then head over to like put her arm around the back of the chair that Bean's in.
And then Corday is going to walk over. She's going to walk over, and she's going to look at the apple pie, and she's going to be like, "That looks really nice."
Alexis will slowly look Corday up and down sideways and gesture her head. There's a pile of bowls and a spoon. Help yourself.
Yeah. She grabs the spoon and the bowl, and then she's going to look at the sofa and she's going to be like, that looks really comfy.
Alexis will swing her legs down to make space.
Corday's going to slump in, and then like she's going to like first like she's not ignoring Faye, but like first she's going to kind of just lean into Alexis and just start to hug her. And then after a moment she's just going to say, "I'm really glad you invited us. I know it took a lot of time. I'm really sorry."
That wasn't what I was... Thanks, Corday. Thank you.
I'm sorry I was mean. I'm
That's
just
all right.
sorry.
We all have our moments. Sorry, I called you what I called you. That was not very...
I've been called worse. It's fine.
I think Alexis will sling an arm around Corday and just do a kind of side hug, pull her in a bit closer, and just...
They'll hug it out.
Yeah, hug it out.
And then after a minute, like, kind of, once she's kind of hugged her for a little bit, she's going to look at Faye. What's Faye doing?
Faye is looking very intently at Corday. She's kind of expressionless, inscrutable, waiting for her to make the first move.
Corday's going to slide over to her, and she's going to be like, "How you doing, you drunkard?"
I'm not that drunk.
I know, I was just, like, trying to make a joke, because, like, it wasn't a very good joke. I said some things that I shouldn't have said, and and you were upset, and I should have listened to you because you're my best friend, and I should have listened, and I didn't, and that's the worst thing a best friend can ever do to their best friend. And then she's going to throw her arms around you in just a moment of
Faye hugs her back, and then
she might cry a little bit.
She draws back a little bit, and she goes, "The world is really difficult, Corday, but ever since you turned up a few hundred years ago, it's been a little less difficult."
My heart!
I think I would like to do a couple of strong moves. Just sitting here, eating my apple pie and ice cream, and just watching Corday hug it out, and with the sort of the sensory feeling of Corday having hugged me, all right, still there, still warm. And I'm going to ditch my anxieties that everybody needs to love me all the time, and I've got to be helping, and I've got to be pleasing everybody, and just enjoy the moment. And I'm also going to fall out of love and understand that Corday isn't ever gonna love me and isn't ever going to quite understand what I do, and that is okay, and I can still be around, and she doesn't have to be anything more than that.
Roxana is also doing a strong move of stealing a moment apart from the world. She's like, all's right in the world now, they're making up, let's not look at Corday too much in case she gets embarrassed. She's not allowed to care about things, I know this, and we're not paying any attention. And just sort of like reading over Bean's shoulder and scratching their head, and is just like very content to be like, yeah, this is the person that I sort of want to be with right now, and I'm surrounded by all the people I want to be with right now, and everything is sort of better than it was an hour ago.
Bean's also stopped reading and is just kind of enjoying the moment.
Corday will have also used, like, this just to clarify, she's used the strong move, telling the truth, inspiring positive change.
Oh. Faye was using be gentle like you want others to be. Wait, hang on. What's Wirral doing?
Yeah, what is Wirral's doing?
I sort of didn't say where I was. I'm actually wondering where Wirral's is. I think at the moment he's gone upstairs and he's drunkenly upside down, finishing a Sudoku upside down on the stairs.
Because last we heard he was heading back into the kitchen for more vinegar. So.
No, he's cleaned his shoe. He's definitely cleaned his shoe, and now he's attempting to finish a Sudoku.
So we kind of draw out on this little scene of everyone snuggled up together, apart from Wirral, who is upside down on the stairs doing a Sudoku.
Where he wants to be.
Where he wants to be. He's happy. Everyone kind of having a cuddle, eating pie.
And Wirral's like, you will, I don't know whether you want to come down or not, but you will become aware that on the kind of the iPod that they got playing downstairs, Corday is stuck on The Cause.
No, Wirral's will come in and look in and then go, oh, everybody here is forgiven, not forgotten. Oh, no, that doesn't really work, does it?
Yeah, and Corday's going to snap right back to her old self and be like, that was awful.
Well, that was different to our usual fare, but I hope you enjoyed it, dear listeners. Next week, we're back on brand as we turn to some house hunting, millennial style. But until then, thank you for listening to Direcast. If you'd like to keep up to date with episodes and announcements, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Direcast, and on Instagram at DirecastPod, and subscribe to us on your favourite podcatcher. And hey, if you enjoyed listening to us, maybe consider giving us a rating or review, or sharing us with a friend. We'd really love that. Direcast is Luki Slinn, Matt George Lovett, Jacob Warr, Helen, Peter Wellman, and H Folkmans. Our logo and banner art are by H Folkmans, who also edited this episode. The Direcast theme is composed and performed by Matt George Lovett, and the Feathers variation was composed and performed by Jacob Warr, Matt George Lovett, and Luki Slinn. This week we were playing Feathers by Remy Perman, a link to which can be found in the episode notes along with our individual social media information. And at least for this week, that's how the die are cast.